He is Ian the Future Gary, and he has a brand new opponent for this week, but one that he's been eyeing for a while in Neil Magny. So obviously disappointing losing Jeff Neal as an opponent, but I'm guessing Neil Magny was the best case scenario for you as a backup?
Look, I'm very happy with either opponent. I was upset that Jeff Neal pulled out because I was excited to test myself against his skill set to go in there and finish him the way I know I was capable of finishing him. And I feel like the fans are robbed of a beautiful finish in that regard. However, they're still going to get a beautiful finish when I knock out Neil Magny.
Now, Neil Magny's kind of the perfect short notice opponent for both himself and for you, in this case, his opponent, because you kind of know what Neil Magny's going to do. He's great at a lot of different things, and because of that, I think that you can prepare for Neil Magny generally week of, and Neil Magny can prepare for his opponent generally week of, because I think that his skill set is just very diverse.
I think Neil Magny is bog standard at best. He's been in the top 15 for so long, but he's never been anywhere near the best. He is good at winning fights he shouldn't win and bringing people into his game. I am far too intelligent to beat to anybody else's drum other than mine. He's going to be swinging and missing. He's going to be trying to grab a hold of me. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to beat him up. I'm going to hurt him. And I'm going to make him quit.
I'm looking at your shirt. Of course, the nickname is The Future. Does that nickname ever change? Like, if you're like 36 years old, are you still going to be The Future?
If I'm still living and breathing and I'm still here doing my I am The Future.
All right, well, I like that. Although I think you are such a gift to the mixed martial arts community that I think The Present is eventually going to be a more suitable nickname.
It might be, but the truth is, in 10 minutes from now, if somebody wants an ass whooping in the future, I'm going to give it to them.
All right, well, we're always looking forward to those bouts. And unfortunately, I think this might be the last time I get a chance to speak with you when you're outside of the top 10. But I mean, I think top 10 Ian Gary will still be a great interview, right? You're not gonna change on us?
For the rest of my life, I am never, ever, ever going to be ranked outside the top 10. I'm only going up, 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 and up. And it's an amazing feeling to know that Sunday morning I'll be in the top 10. It's pretty cool.
You know, one thing that you have in common outside of just, being Irish with Conor McGregor is that early in his career, he did kind of the same thing. He was manifesting what he was going to do and telling everybody what he was going to do and then subsequently doing it. He subscribed to, I forget what the book was called. There was a book that he read where you could kind of will things into existence. The Secret, it was called. Do you kind of subscribe to that same sort of thing? Have you read The Secret? Is that something that you subscribe to in theory?
I have read it. I have listened to the audiobook. I have spoke about it in great detail to my wife, to some people who have been open to have amazing conversations about it. And I think it's without getting too preachy about anything, I think it's just self-belief. When you believe in something so truly in your heart, you, as a human, as a physical being, will make that happen. That is my belief. Is if I think I'm going to have a day, of course you're going to have a day because you're going to look at it in that way. If someone cuts you off, if someone's rude to you, you're going to feel like that. Or if you think, you know what, I'm going to pass on my energy. I'm going to hold the door open and say good morning to someone. Or when someone holds the door open for me, I'm going to say thank you. It's little things. You smile at someone the right way and it starts the whole day. And I believe that you are in control of your energy, and whatever way you wake up and choose to start the day, it will manifest the rest of the day for you.
So is that something that you force yourself to do every day when you start your day?
No, I do it naturally. I don't need to force anything. I am as true comes. When I think about myself and something that I want to put across to people and show the world is that you don't have to put on a fake persona in this world to be liked or to get likes on Instagram or to get attention. You can be controversial as hell. You can be an asshole. You can be a good person. You can be a good father, and you can do all the right things at the same time. You know what I mean? I don't expect any human to be perfect, but I expect humans to do the right things at the right times. So for me, being honest to myself and true to myself is more important than anything.
It feels like you care a lot about how you're perceived outside of the cage, not when you're on the camera. Like I've seen you.
I mean, sorry. I feel like I need to interrupt you. I couldn't give a how I'm perceived. That's the truth. I couldn't care less what people think about me. Once they are seeing the true me, does that make sense? Once they are seeing me and knowing that this is me, there is no act. There is no act or any persona. You are getting me. Look, I have a team around me of people that you can ask, is Ian always like this? Is Ian always like this? And they'll all turn around and go, yeah. And if anything, when he gets behind closed doors, he gets funnier, he gets louder. I say more things that are just a bit wild. Um, I just want to be true to myself, and I don't care about what other people think about me. The world gets caught up in the social media thing of, I need to be liked, I need likes on Instagram, I need people to see my YouTube videos. I couldn't give a about that. I do it because it's my job, and I want my fans to feel like they know me. I want my fans to feel like when I'm in Sao Paulo in Brazil training with shoot the box with Charles Oliveira and all the Brazilians that train at that gym, I want my fans in England, Ireland, Europe, Australia, all to know about it and to go, wow, that's cool, and talk about what I'm doing. I want it to be like an open book.
Yeah, maybe the word perception is the wrong word, but
Yes.
what I mean is, I'm talking to you here during this interview, and you're very personable. But I actually feel like you're more personable outside, off of the camera. I feel like you're just a genuinely personable guy.
That's how I want it to be. I'm just living my life and enjoying the fruits of everything that I've been blessed to have.
How was Brazil? Obviously that's somewhere that you've wanted to go for a while. You've been very vocal about that. You get to train with some of the best gyms, one of which is, of course, Diego Lima and Shoot the Box, where Charles Oliveira, of course, trains. What was that whole experience like, and when do you think you're going to go back?
Brazil as a whole was just phenomenal. It was an experience that I'll never forget, and I'm very excited to go back whenever we do. Obviously, it depends on fights, my wife's work, life, but I'm super happy with the experience. I'm super grateful to all the people that I got to meet on my journey in Brazil, and I'm excited to go back there and chop it up with everyone again. I think we'll be back towards the later end of this year.
You're also hoping to fight again before the end of the year. You had mentioned December in Las Vegas. So what are you hoping for at that event? You're hoping to face, obviously, somebody in the top 10 and continue to move your way up?
Wonderboy. I want to fight Wonderboy. To be the best striker in the world, you got to beat the best strikers in the world. And Wonderboy is considered the best striker that is one of the best strikers that has ever been in the UFC, full stop. I consider myself that, and I need to prove that against people of his caliber. So for me to go in there and absolutely school him and show him the new age of MMA and the new age of UFC, it's something I look forward to do.
Yeah, I was hoping Wonderboy was going to be your opponent on Saturday, to be transparent. Obviously, he lost his recent fight. He didn't lose the fight, but the fight fell out.
I think it's more exciting for both me and Wonderboy to have a camp to lead up to it, for the fans to get excited about the potential of a 5-round fight. With me and Wonderboy, 25 minutes of striking excellence. The build-up, just the thoughts that could go through fans' minds, that is more important to me than anything.
Well, that would be a great Dublin main event. I mean, I think back to Darren Till facing him in Liverpool, Wonderboy. And Wonderboy obviously is okay with those kind of situations. Like, if you're going to bring the UFC back to Dublin, that should be the main event.
I completely agree. However, I don't see the UFC coming back to Dublin in 2023, and I'm not waiting until 2024 to have another fight no way. So absolutely, I completely agree with you, but I also think there's a lot of other fights that could be very, very cool to do in Dublin as well.
So when you say December and you want 5 rounds, are you thinking more of a fight night type scenario?
No, UFC co-main, pay-per-view, why not?
So to make that a 5-round fight for a co-main, they've been doing that recently, making exciting co-mains a 5-round fight.
Let's imagine that the main card is McGregor Chandler, because that's what people are saying right now. I don't know who it is, but it hasn't been announced. Let's say it is McGregor Chandler, right? That's a 5-round fight, and it's not a world title fight. So why can't the co-main be me and Wonderboy at a 5-round fight and give the fans 50 minutes of insanely talented athletes going at it?
Yeah, the UFC have done that before. Like, if it's an exciting co-main event, they'll do 5 rounds. There's nothing that would stop them from doing that.
Well, the truth is, I need to get ready for a world title fight in the future, and I believe that doing 5 rounds against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson would absolutely. Do you know what? It would excite me as a fan. It would excite me as someone who's watched Wonderboy and learned from Wonderboy, and to be able to stand in there would be an honor. I love Wonderboy. I get along with him. I'm friends with him. I have no malice towards him whatsoever. But at the end of the day, he's one of the best strikers the UFC's ever seen. And I want to test myself against guys like him.
Yeah, you're not going to find a lot of people that have malice against Wonderboy. There's not a whole lot to dislike.
He's such a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. And you know what? I said this. Me and Wonderboy get along so well. He's the type of bloke that I reckon I could go and spar with Wonderboy, for Wonderboy, ahead of Wonderboy.
Just bring him into your camp, pay him to come in to spar with
Wonderboy,
him to face him.
Pay you to get ready for Wonderboy. Yeah, sweet. Is there any chance we can spar together and then, we'll just a couple of weeks later, we'll just disappear and fight each other?
Well, Wonder Boy's the type of guy to say yes to that, but I probably actually wouldn't say. I mean, if he's not going to say yes to Michel Pereira being over for three pounds, I think he's sensible enough not to help you beat him in sparring in preparation to beat him.
By the way, I think he was right about the Michel Pereira thing. I think that's cheeky. If you sign a contract to make weight, show up and do your job.
So in that scenario, would you have not taken the fight?
Listen, me and Wonder Boy are two very different people. I completely understand what his stance. And the truth is, you learn from your past, and he learned from what he did in Liverpool. And he thought that those 3 pounds mattered enough. And I believe what he's saying. I agree with what he's saying. Because if Michel Pereira cannot physically make the weight, then you shouldn't be in the division.
Yeah, and it looks like going forward, he's not going to be in the division. He was removed from the rankings, probably going up to 85 next.
He shouldn't be. Do your job.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fair. And finally, I saw you posted a clip of what Neil Magny had said. I don't know if it was his most recent media availability about, I guess, giving a whooping, getting a whooping when he was a kid and now teaching his kid a lesson. I saw yourself and Layla were pretty, I guess, taken aback by that, and you're using that as artillery for this particular matchup. But where did you see this clip, and how did it stand out to you?
I'm not using this for artillery. This is far beyond fighting. This is far bigger. There's just been a man who's publicly announced that I've got accustomed to that kind of beating, is what he said. This is someone like, I don't care. I don't care what religion, what race you are, what your background is, or what your upbringing was. You don't ever lay your hand on a kid, a child. We have weight divisions in fighting for a reason. Break the cycle and be better.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. I've got 3 kids of my own, and my wife and I have always been very steadfast that we don't believe in that kind of thing. So, no. I mean, but like you said, I think that breaking the cycle is very important.
For sure, break the cycle. There's something so much more important here than fighting or artillery or trying to get in Magny's head. This is about so much more. If your child is being a little menace, right? Which they do at times. Children push the boundaries. It's part of life. We've all done it. I certainly, as a kid, wasn't a perfect child. I was absolutely nuts, right? But guess what's important? Stop your daughter, stop your son, stop your kids, stop whatever it is. Stop them from doing anything. Come down to their level and talk to them. There was never ever any circumstance where you should lay a hand on a child, ever. Full stop.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. And maybe he had misspoke or something along those lines. You want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, but who knows?
It didn't seem like a misspoken sentence to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty clear what he said. I'm not trying to defend the guy, but
no.
Like I said, I'm hoping that he misspoke. I don't know whether or not that is the case.
At the end of the day, this is a much bigger issue that we need to look at and forget fighting here. This is about moving forward and making the world a better place. And there is never ever a scenario where you should lay a hand on a child.
Amen to that. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. It's the continued progression of your ascent in the welterweight division. Ian, thank you so much for doing this, and all the best to you.
Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Have a great day.